What's going on YouTube? It's your boy camATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that we do every single week on this channel. Hopefully everybody did great for MLB on April 1st. We had an amazing night last night. Cashed on MLB, cashed on NBA. It was an amazing night. Go to greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Let's go ahead and get straight into this high five. I'm not going to take up much of your time. You guys know how I like to do it. Short and simple. You guys have shit to do. I have a slate to continue looking at, so I'm going to go ahead and just get it to you. Explain the reasoning why I like these guys behind it. As you know, these are my first look players. So after all day's research and stuff, things could change. So greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. And follow me on Twitter at cam_ATL for any questions and stuff you have. All right. So let's start off first with Ryu. I love him at 9-3 against San Francisco in this matchup, man. I've been doing nothing but picking on San Francisco with pitchers since the beginning of the season. I mean, this San Francisco offense doesn't strike out a ton. But Los Angeles is huge favorites in this one, okay? Vegas has San Francisco at a 3.1 implied total, which is super low. San Francisco only has a .085 ISO versus lefties. Ryu historically has been much better at home than on the road. He gets to be in his own ballpark, heavily favored, very pitcher-friendly ballpark. I love Ryu. And on a slate where there's just a bunch of top-notch pitching, I mean, we have some big pitchers. Scherzer, there's some weather concern in that game, though, so pay attention to that. We got Chris Sale, who got blown up on his first start. A lot of top-tier pitchers with a little bit of question mark, other than Verlander. I love Verlander against Texas. It is pretty cold in Texas, so the ballpark being a very hitter-friendly ballpark kind of gets held in check a little bit with that cold weather. It definitely keeps the ball in a lot better, and the wind's projected to be blowing in, but like I've always said, Texas weather is the most unpredictable thing in the world, so don't worry too much about that. But with that said, both of my pitchers are not going to be super, super high tier. Ryu is up there, but the next one is Marcus Stroman. The reasoning behind this is, first, I'm going to get to the reason why, but let me first state that Toronto should win this game. Now, Toronto is also maybe more unpredictable than Texas weather is, okay? I have been wanting to play these Toronto guys for so much because, first of all, they have had nothing but amazing matchups since the beginning of the year. And we know how baseball is. These guys start out a little slow. They got to get back used to facing these guys again and stuff like that. But, man, I mean, how many times can Toronto go against a minor league caliber pitcher and suck? I mean, it's DFS. So you got to have a very short memory. You just got to move on. And in amazing matchups, you just got to take a serious look at it. But anyways, I do think Toronto's able to pull this game out against Baltimore. They just played last night, both teams obviously, but Baltimore's still a very strikeout-heavy lineup. Okay, they strike out over 28% of the time versus right-handed pitchers. They only have a 130 ISO and a 284 WOBA versus righties. Okay, and Stroman has historically been much better at home than on the road. So with him being at home, going against a very K-friendly Baltimore team, who he should strike out plenty of, had an amazing first start of the year against Detroit, striking out 7, only giving up 2 hits, 0 earned runs, pitched 94 pitches, so he went deep into the game. So he pitched 7 innings. So he's a guy who could possibly get you a quality start here if he's pitching well against Baltimore and keeps the pitch count down. So I love Marcus Stroman as a cheaper option at 8-3 who can put up top-tier numbers here in this matchup. Next up, and I hate to say this dude has failed me a few times already this year, and I've sworn off Toronto bats, but hey, that's just, you know, I got to do it. It's DFS. You got to have a short memory. I mean, once again, they get a top-notch matchup against Cashner. Okay, this is an amazing matchup. Cashner gives up a 193 ISO to lefties, and Smoak kills righties with a 249 ISO. I love Smoak in this matchup. Please have one of those double dong days or at least one home run in this one, Justin Smoak. I beg of you. You are at home in Toronto. Vegas has you implied for the second highest run total on the slate. So don't blow this. All right? Do not blow this. I don't want to have to come to Toronto. All right? Now, next up, JD Martinez, his first showing in the high five. Love this dude in this matchup, man. Going against Fires, I love him, okay? Fires gives up a 215 ISO versus righties, and we all know JD's one of those reverse split guys. Most batters hit lefties better, but JD loves those righties. 296 ISO and a 414 WOBA versus righties. Also has an amazing history versus this guy as well. So JD, love JD here. Love Boston to bounce back after blowing it versus an unknown pitcher last night. Love JD Martinez. And to top it off, the wind is predicted to be blowing out to center over 8 miles per hour in this one, blowing the ball out. And Oakland is a fairly hitter-friendly ballpark. They're top 10 in the league. So I love JD Martinez for sure. Last but not least, Michael Brantley. I talked earlier about the weather in Texas being colder than normal. It's one of those things where this is still a small ballpark. And with all of that not considered, Michael Brantley is a solid hitter. Okay, he's not known for a crazy amount of power, even though he did hit a home run on opening day. I am thinking that he gets another one here in this matchup. This is the highest implied total on the slate. Okay, Houston kind of let down with only 2 runs last night, but at least we had Springer. Hopefully you guys saw the high five. At least we had Springer who hit the home run. But Michael Brantley is my Houston player in this high five. Love him against Shelby Miller. Miller gives up a 209 ISO versus lefties and a 397 WOBA versus lefties. He's bottom in the league versus left-handed bats. Brantley doesn't have a crazy ISO, 169 ISO. And for anybody who's new, ISO is isolated power, okay? It's power, okay? That's what you kind of want to look at if you want guys who are going to hit home runs. You want them to have a high ISO, okay? WOBA is kind of getting on base, weighted on base average, all right? Now, anyways, with that said, for anybody who's new to baseball, Michael Brantley, 367 WOBA. Shelby Miller giving up a ton. Even if he doesn't hit a home run, I expect him to get on base multiple times here, score a run, So he's going to do his thing. Love Michael Brantley as one of the cheaper options, getting us some exposure to this Houston high total in Texas against a bad pitcher at only 4.5. With the pitching on this slate, it's going to be incredibly hard to stack up those Houston bats because they're expensive bats, okay? A lot of these top-tier stack options are very expensive, and on a slate with all this crazy pitching, it's going to be incredibly hard. And I definitely encourage you not to try to force in high-price stack and suffer with your pitching because of it, okay? For example, okay? Just to give you a quick example, I liked some high-priced bats last night, okay? And because I liked some high-priced bats, I looked at the pitching. None of the pitchers were super high-caliber pitchers, so I was okay with taking upper mid-tier pitching that was still safe. I was able to get a few pitchers in the 8K, mid-7K range and get the bats I still wanted. On this slate, it's going to be tough to do, okay? It's going to be tough to do because there's a lot of unknown, a lot of pitchers who could get absolutely demolished on this slate, and we've got some real upper-tier pitchers on the slate. Verlander's in an amazing spot if you can afford to get him in. But yeah, you definitely aren't going to be able to really sacrifice your pitching on this slate at least. There's not a whole bunch of mid-tier amazing options other than Stroman, if you consider him a mid-tier option at 8.3. But other than that, love the slate in general. It's a large slate, 10 games. Excited to get to it. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. For all the NBA people who watch my NBA videos, there will not be an NBA high five, but I will post it on my Twitter at cam_ATL. I told my mom I would go to breakfast with her in the morning, so I will not be able to do the high five like I normally do in the morning, but I will post and high five for NBA on my Twitter account sometime tomorrow for you guys. All right, greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Drop the like down below. Subscribe to the channel and comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name into the giveaway. All right, thank you guys for watching as always.